Testing, testing. Am I live now? Testing, testing. Am I live now? All right. Well, with the draft as it is. Well, with the draft as it is. Oh my God, I'm actually bleeding through. Whoops. There, mute the stream. Uh, okay, so Scion is the top lane decision. Oh my God, Scion Cho'Gath. Ugh, I hate this. It's not gonna be a Kali. I would doubt everything that Poe plays it. Top lane. Teemo? Oh, is it Mordekaiser? It's gonna be a lock-in Mordekaiser. Okay, so with the final bans in place, we get a Zed mid, Graves jungle, Mordekaiser top lane, Caitlyn Nautilus bot lane. And for MBB, you have a Xin a Soul, or rather, Scion, Xin a Soul, Sivir, Alistar. Ah, well, final game of the season. This is for the standings. This actually has several standing implications. Well, so if we go back to our standings, with a win, MBB, I believe, goes up to ninth, maybe eighth. But with a win, PIO goes all the way up to seventh, possibly. But we'll have a big headache for deciding the tiebreakers there. Alright, and we're going into the draft again. Oops. Let's undo that. Oh, that's why, because I had the timer for the actual in-game client, not...
Who questions my ability?
Oopsie. Most likely PIO goes 7th. It's a 3-way tie. So it would lead to
weak fear the shadows.
Speed of victory. So how fast the teams win to decide what breaks them.
Seriously? Seriously? Lame.
Nice even spread of channel points for the predictions. Imagine watching LCS when you could be watching regular season finals here. See, BTL has their own regular season final match. Meanwhile, you have like 4 hours still before LCS ends. Oh, really? Thanks, man, for checking on that, because I am not opening more tabs.
Sharpening my feathers.
I want a turn.
Okay, so it's if MBB wins, that it's a nasty 3-way.
Eventually.
Yeah. Okay, that's okay. One of them was a mess. That is also true, Tim. Oh, Tim, given that you're here, did you put your channel points in? Let me see. I can check. Oh, so you're telling me you can't end submissions, so I have to stay on top of this and manage the prediction. The people's team wins. Oh boy. So far I'm not losing frames. We've got so much time in hand. 3 minutes to go. Oh god, the PIO's team. I haven't solo casted a match since last season. We'll see how this goes. Set up straight. Don't have any water to drink. You know, Tim, that would make things a lot easier. I guess I do have 2 minutes to grab a drink, so we'll be back. Alright, we've got beverage now. So much time to wait. There you go, guys. We've got the emotes. Use them if you're a subscriber. Or if you have your channel points, feel free to unlock them. Your boba bucks. Alright, as that closes out, I can close the browser. We're loading in. Alright. Look at that. The infinity zoom. So it looks like a level 1 plan from PIO going for that early invade.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And they're gonna run face first into Bananas. Bananas spots them. The flash. Oh, hook! Max range lands. Bananas is going to take all of that damage. Not going to use any summoner spells and go down. First blood to the Caitlyn, too. Which Allura Xenia is definitely happy with that. And early lead for PIO. 4 assists and 1 kill.
Hello, I've come to rescue you.
What?
Or at least help a little bit.
Oh my god, Tate. Well, can you join the game or
Yeah, you can spectate after.
yeah, I mean sometimes they make it private, so
Yes, I'm in.
cool. I'm at 124.25. So
Yes.
perfect, Tate.
Kind of a juicy level 1, no?
Yeah, I mean, with a Nautilus, I feel like they should have expected it, and Banana saved her flash there, thinking that it wasn't gonna land, and just the max range hitbox.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate. Luckily, it does give over the first blood, but I mean, you have flash for any ganks coming in later.
Yeah, absolutely no problem. And the Z pick from J-Chunk, specifically into the A-Soul, which
Yeah,
I believe
kind of love to see it.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be Z favored, right?
Yes, it is extremely Z favored.
Great.
Once you're like, honestly, once you're level 3, you basically just win every trade against Asol. And then post level 6, he can never. You either have to commit the ult, once Zed ult you, or you will never be able to get Zed off of you as Aurelion Soul.
So coming into this, looking at the drafts, which team do you favor right now?
Yeah, so far, if I'm being honest, I think that PO doesn't scale hard enough. Obviously they have the Caitlyn that will scale, but it's a little unfortunate just because on the other side, MBB has the Scion who's going to infinitely get tanky. You have Aurelion Soul who will infinitely scale as well. Sivir late game also no joke. So as long as they can weather the storm of this early game, I think MBB takes it in the long term. But you have to get past 20 minutes and not
and not die. Okay.
Yeah. If you get past 20 minutes, it should be okay.
Alright. I do think that I'm expecting Walker to play the crit lifesteal Graves. I know he started practicing it yesterday. He definitely enjoyed how much damage he was doing.
Oh man, you're giving away strats.
Oh,
Luckily there is a buffer, so
away.
oh wow. Well, you know, it's just another day for Graves, honestly. What are you gonna do? You just throw out the smoke screen. You can no longer see the crab or do anything about it.
Yep. And it's yoinked away.
Yeah. He had smite up as well, and had the smite up, could have potentially smited it himself, but I think it really was just smokescreen blinded him. No longer had vision to smite it. I will say though, looking pretty good for Scion so far. Obviously is a little bit out of mana, but really, I mean, against the early levels of Mordekaiser, you're expecting to lose way harder than this, so not too bad, all things considered.
Yeah, able to
Such a
get
weird
the cannon
interaction
there before getting interrupted.
Yeah, really weird interaction that your Q still goes off if you time it right on the pullback from Mordekaiser. Yeah, I don't know what, I mean, Simon probably would be best to just reset here, right? I mean, you're not doing great on mana. You don't have mana to even Q, right? It's 45, so you have, and just used E actually, so I don't know. I think if I'm Scion, you just reset.
Yeah,
you're
reset,
kind of struggling.
walk back. If he shoves,
Yeah.
you're forced to TP, but I don't think that
Yeah.
they will.
Maybe just waiting until hitting 6. Pretty close here. So, I mean, if you hit 6, I guess you don't have to even use the TP. But I mean, pre 14 minutes. I mean, just use it liberally, right? There's no reason not to use TP to get a small advantage in lane. Especially when you're struggling to like keep up in CS because you're lacking mana. Like just back and kind of start that up already.
Yeah. So with the possibility of this being a repeat matchup if PIO wins for the playoffs,
Right.
you're looking this as a like if you were playing this game, what would your thought process be? Would you be looking more of it as a like pseudo scrim, effectively, or?
I mean, I think there's still some pride in
Oh.
the line. Actually, as we're saying, Zed is potentially going to get the return kill. It does look like they're going to get it with the ult and ignite, going to kill off Chill Wang here. Anyway, kill going over to the Aurelion Soul is exactly what you want, though. Getting him scaled up is definitely priority. I'm surprised that there has not been like more ganks, I guess, towards this Mordekaiser. I know Sion doesn't have a ton of mana during this whole time, but I mean, Pope Panda, this Mordekaiser just pushed most of this lane phase the last 5 minutes. I think it would have been probably a free gank.
Yeah.
He has no flash, he only has ghost, so could have potentially CC chained. Yeah, if I'm in this game, I think I still have some pride on the line. I mean, these are, luckily everybody gets into playoffs, no worries. So there's not too much to worry about. But I think you're still potentially scrimming. You're testing things out. You're still trying to kind of win, right? These are the two. Are they tied for ninth right now?
Yes, they are currently tied at 9.
Yeah. I think there's some pride in the line. You know, it's the people's team, right? They gotta end it on a win.
True, and your jungler Mina did say that PIO was gonna go on a deep run in the lower bracket.
Yeah, if that's the plan, then they gotta start showing it now for sure.
Yeah, and honestly, that could be a show of just a force here with the mental game. If PIO wins and then they force the matchup again against MBB, MBB would then potentially not know what to do or just be a bit more shaken from the matchup.
Yeah, maybe get some mental damage in.
Mental damage, always worth.
Who do you think? Now that's I guess that's a follow up question. If either of these teams lose, who do you think has better mental fortitude to bring it back in playoffs?
MBB.
Okay, okay.
I've seen MBB year after year do crazy runs in the playoffs.
So this is my first season in BTL. Who are the are there any players that just constantly return to either of these teams? I know Chia is always on MBB for the most part, right?
Yeah, so Chia has been on MBB forever. Let's see, then somebody who's been stuck on the same team. Was it Steven with the Good Boys? I think he's been on that roster for a while.
But for the most part, it's pretty shifted around.
There's been a little bit of shifting. A couple players have bounced back and forth, like Baroque has been on SB primarily, but he's also played one season on THD. Let's see, Pentamaster I think has played all 3 of his seasons on PIO.
Okay. Oh.
I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that I would consider.
Honestly, all things considered, Sion weathering the storm pretty well. Missing out on, I mean, a CS. Obviously, you're at a CS deficit, but could be worse, all things considered, right? You could have gotten solo killed by Mordekaiser at this point. So
Yeah.
If I'm Sion in this situation, I'm just glad that I have a plus 50 CS at all.
But the CS differential. Oh,— faces into J Chung. It's a nice bit of poke.
They have the Zed ult too. I wonder if it would have been. I mean, honestly, I think you can kill. Maybe if you pop the um Xin Zhao ult as Zed ults, like R2 pops. I don't know if it would block it at that point. I imagine it would. It's just anything that's outside of the circle doesn't do damage, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, they're trying to fight over the dragon at least. Okay, okay. She is
Oh,
just gonna
full
try
engage, but
and
the Sivir is just locked up, as well as the Xin Zhao.
that's a bit tough. Ignite going down on Xia is gonna get the kill with the Shuriken there to finish it off. And top lane is just slapping each other around. Really good fight for PIO though. That's exactly what you want to see. They have the better early game here, so you want to see them actually like take advantage of this and utilize it. You have a lot of CC, a lot of catchability, a lot of pickability with the Nautilus at any point, and then I mean that was such a kind of a messy fight to be honest, right? You have really the Graves smokescreen disrupting everything while Zed is ulting your backline, your primary damage dealer.
Look, nearsightedness is the most frustrating CC ability in the game. It's not
uh,
even like blind, because you can at least walk away, right? No, nearsightedness, because you can't
I
see
uh
where the abilities are coming.
I um I do like the Prowler's Claw from Zed. I'm glad that he's getting it because I mean your whole goal is that you have to stick on two people, right? You either have to kill Aurelion Soul or you have to kill Sever. Those are the two targets that you're allowed to basically use your entire combo on. And if at any point somebody's trying to, you know, ends up getting out, you can actually also cancel the um I'm can Alistar W with Prowler's Claw if you time it right.
Oh,
It's a really
really?
really weird. Yeah, it's a really weird interaction. If you time it at the exact moment, like it's like buffering it, but it's really hard.
Okay.
But you can buffer it into like dashing back forward. Um, I do wonder if there's ever going to be an issue with the Graves actually just running over because you saw in this last fight they clumped up really really close and got a lot of damage done with their AoE. Obviously the Nautilus knockup doing a ton as well, and then Graves ult just melting or doing huge chunks on all of them. I really hope that that is not a reoccurring thing for MBB this game. Um, yeah,
Oh,
they have a lot of
Meteos
AoE.
looking to fight in the jungle. Zed finds Chillwang. Chillwang just jumps over a wall. But it's going to be a 3v2.
Interesting.
The MBB jungle. The opt off of it.
Yeah. I honestly think if Jay-Chung, I mean, Jay-Chung flashed, I think it was preemptive, maybe a mistake even, like a fat finger. Um, but you flashed in, got an auto off. He's in the middle of his flight. Why not just ult him, right? Your shadow will still be on the other side, outside of tower range. You could have potentially even gotten the kill because his ignite was up as well.
Yeah, going over the wall. Pop ult. Jump back
Might
to
as well
safety. Oh,
try it,
there he goes
right?
now. And the dragon just eased away. It's going to live.
A little bit tough there. The timing on that's really hard.
Yeah.
Nothing too much else because there's no objectives up just yet. Obviously, Dragon going to be the next one spawning as they already took Herald. I would have loved to have seen this kind of dropped a little sooner, but where do you think they should take it now that they have held on to this
Oh.
Herald?
I like the idea of dropping a top lane, get some extra gold in that Mordekaiser, because eventually Mordekaiser can become just a unmovable object.
Mm-hmm. No, I absolutely agree. Getting your Mordekaiser bigger and scarier is always a good plan.
Looks like they're gonna drop it down bot lane here. The hard shove instead.
I think this is also this is the other option that might be a little more favorable. As long as Graves stays there, he drops it. Probably should have already dropped it. It looks like they're gonna hold on to it. Actually, they're gonna just try and take it with autos, and then probably drop it mid once they've gotten this. It looks like they might actually take care of it.
Yeah,
I guess
they just get it.
Graves and Caitlyn do a ton of damage. I did not think they were already this this up.
Oh, and it looks like Graves is not opting for the crit Graves. It's lethality. And I'm sad.
Oh, disappointed. All the fans are crying at home, surely. Okay. It's... Oh, what a flash. Okay, the old flash coming in is going to get stopped on a trap, though. No one's actually going to die here. Just some damage, a little bit of chunkage on the Xin Zhao, who's actually just going to heal most of it up from a honeydew plant, so no problem. Looks good. Unfortunately, Pentamasta having to use that flash when Dragon has just spawned. Top lane is at a TP advantage as well. Not sure they would actually be able to get it off, but if you wanted to... Okay.
They're just hovering back and forth. They lose the turret with the Herald. And MBB's gonna try and put some pressure on.
I do like that they held the Herald for Dragon. If they're not going to use it bottom, then that's a really, really good time to use it. They probably should have engaged while Aurelion Sol was mid, though. That is a little bit okay. They're going to try and take out the Graves.
Wow.
Cheesnacks doesn't have ult, so will end up going down. Dragon being secured by the Graves ult.
Medios is also going to go down to the Caitlyn ulti.
Nice. Banana's going down to the Shuriken.
Full cleanup from PIO, and they're showing up big on this game.
Yeah, I mean, they just, this is the unfortunate reality of what MBB's comp is. I mean, you basically don't have a mid laner, really, to be honest with you, for quite a while. It's even worth to not take these fights early because, I mean, realistically, you're probably going to lose them with the amount of damage that Graves, Zed, and Caitlyn already do.
We've got the Mordekaiser ulti thrown in.
Probably could have just kept going. But ult was running out anyway, no problem. Chia just going to interrupt it back. Gonna try and do it again. Okay, opts not to walk into the flesh. I like the disruption though. Herald spawning here pretty soon.
You'll have just under a minute to take it down. Actually, like...
Yeah, Aurelion Sol has TP up. And did get the reset. One thing I would have liked to have seen from Aurelion Sol is buying this rod just a little bit later. If you hold off on buying rod to 14 or 15 minutes instead of 11 or 12, you will level your levels will spike you from, instead of going from like 13 to 14, you'll spike 15 to 16. It's like a small adjustment, but it makes you spike at just the right time, right when you're actually useful on Aurelion Sol.
Okay, so we're cresting over the 20-minute mark now. Has MBB done enough of a job of surviving for the late game to start kicking in?
They're down 5k gold, unfortunately. But I think there is a world where they still win. This is PIO's game to win early, and they sure are trying. They do.
Oh,
okay.
Bananas gets engaged on.
Walked up a little too far. Didn't have vision of where the Zed was, just going over the wall. The Scion is tanky, but not tanky enough. Okay, Aurelion Sol ults. Not going to end up doing enough damage just yet. They will get the Scion. Yeah.
Oh god, Baron and Rift Herald in the hands of PIO.
This game might end at 22 minutes, to be honest with you. If they don't reset and they just shove mid out, they could take potentially Nexus turrets. It might even be better to forget what I said. Reset, walk mid, end the game. You are so incredibly stronger than them. They are like right now. You have the Baron, you have the Herald. People are buying complete full items again. Yeah, Graves just finishing another item as well.
Yeah, you've seen almost 3k gold lead on the Graves. And
Oh, is it? Oh, it is.
And honestly, that's where
Yeah.
most of the PO lead is.
Yeah. I mean, there's a 1500 gold lead on both Zed and Caitlyn as well to their counterparts, right? So.
And the Mordekaiser almost.
Oh, and the Mordekaiser, yeah. Overall, it's
Pretty
looking a
nice
little
spread.
rough.
Nice healthy spread.
I a little curious. I guess the 131 is fine, but I mean, they're strong enough that they could just force this. I mean, nobody can walk up to them, otherwise they get Nautilus hooked and then killed in, half a second. I guess they're just gonna play for Dragon, but I think you're really not using your Baron timer as wise as you could. I think forcing a tower down would be a little easier. They're starting to walk up to this Mordekaiser, trying to get a pick here. Looks like Aurelion Sol changed his mind, just going to collect the wave.
Oh,
Huge chunk going on this. Oh, that could be a dead. No, okay. No, it does end up going down. Flash from Poe Panda. Damage going on to Bananas. Actually just shields it. Poe Panda is actually 1v3ing and might kill one more. And does, because of the isolated Q damage. Gonna try and take another with him.
Oh my god, what is this?
He does.
What is this?
Oh no. He's going to get... Okay. Aurelion Sol finally coming to clean up the kill. Poe Panda looking dangerous on the Mordekaiser. Actually 1v3ing and killed 2 people.
Oh my god, the Ignite actually ends up
Ignite.
getting Scion.
That's incredibly tough.
I can't believe what I just watched from Poe Panda.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're a PO fan, you're incredibly happy. The Baron, they did end up getting, obviously, like an inhib and a, the Herald, helping out to get the 2 towers and an inhib, but honestly, they probably could have gotten a little more, if they play with the Mordekaiser there, that is just a team wipe.
Yeah. And look at all these bounties. So much gold to be claimed. Oh man. Question is, how does MBB do it? Single target.
I'm surprised Nautilus doesn't have a bounty as well, to be honest. Hasn't died once in the game yet.
Look, they don't implement those on supports for a reason. I remember when they put it in the game. And then they promptly took it out like, I don't know.
Okay.
2 patches later.
Tries to get the kill there. Unfortunate timing. Yeah, you can't activate the ult before Aurelion Sol starts his flight. You just have to walk it out first. Walk towards him, then right before he goes out of range of your ult, you start your ult, right? So you're actually on top of him when his flight ends.
Flash.
They're gonna take the blue buff from him.
Nope. He smites
Wow.
it, saying this is my camp. Stop.
There's no objectives up. Smiting that, totally safe, totally fine. He really wanted a blue buff. Very understandable, actually. Okay. Just trying to get some vision control in this blue buff jungle here. They're gonna try and take out the Mordekaiser. That's a lot of CC. Do they have to commit the Aurelion Sol ult? They might have to.
Ooh, nice flash from Rio Burrito. Oh, J-Chunk goes down, but the gold goes to Chia Snacks.
Okay.
Oh,
Saved.
Meteodes is trying to keep fighting.
It's a little far, and
flash
Okay.
from Allura does get the kill.
Oh,
And
Caitlyn.
meanwhile, Poe Panda
Yeah.
gets
This
shut
whole
down.
time. Oh man, they were fighting the whole time. I was watching Pan down, and they just. I'm surprised that he died even there. That was really, really close to being a 1-for-1.
Jeez.
Panda distracting two very pivotal members of team fights. And MBB just not respecting PO's damage in that fight. They're pretty far up. You have to have Scion and Aurelion Sol there if you actually want to fight. Even walking up to protect tower is extremely dangerous with the amount of pick potential they have on this Nautilus. He's got Locket too, so diving towers is no issue. And speaking of diving towers and pick potential, this Nautilus has flash again. So
Oh
there is
boy.
at any point going to be a very dead Sivir or Aurelion Sol on our screen very soon here. Okay, they're starting to walk to it since I was pretty far off though.
Mordekaiser with the TP is able to just safely bring up the wave down bot lane, create that pressure. Captain OG opting to stay topside in order to be with his team.
I think that's the right call. You might, even if you know, end up winning the fight, you might lose a tower in the bot lane, but I honestly would really love to see Panda not TP up. I think they can just win 4v5 at this point. They are up 6k gold, and really, I mean, PIO is not actually wanting to team fight, right? All they want to do is do a bunch of damage, burst one target down, and then walk away. Wait for cooldowns to be back up, and then do it again. Okay.
They're not
Aurelion
covering.
Sol.
They're opting more for the Ocean Soul now.
Yeah. Aurelion Sol has Sky's Descent. This could do a lot of damage. We are hitting close to 30 minutes here, so Aurelion Sol will soon be a character.
Dragon is started. They are spotted. But nobody knows where the Zed is. And instead, they're giving up the soul for pressure down mid, getting some bounty gold onto them. But they're going to get collapsed on by PO. They're trying to get as many turrets as possible.
Oh, but if they lose this fight, that could be the end of the game. They have to be really, really careful here.
Nice.
Okay,
spot.
huge Scion ults. They're focusing Scion. This is
Oh my
exactly
god, that
what you
Ace
want.
ulti.
Wow.
But
Okay,
the Mordekaiser...
1-for-1? 1-for-2? Wow.
So
It looked so good for MBB.
Yeah, 1-for-3 in the end. And only one turret bounty is taken.
Yeah, that was a one team fight if they didn't have Ocean Soul. Ocean Soul sustaining them through that entire fight. Everyone is back at full HP now. Like they didn't even just lose half their HP.
Yeah.
30 seconds ago.
Chillwang is once again shoving them mid lane. Is he gonna
Hex Flash.
go for it?
Over just to go. Okay, never mind. I think Pentamasta walking mid to try and see if Aurelion Sol would just keep pushing, trying to deter anything that they could. Obviously now they have the soul, they have the Baron buff as well. I think they could really do whatever they want, and it will probably be successful. They're up now 8k gold, and does not look like it's stopping anytime soon. I don't think that going for the turrets was a bad idea, but I think giving the soul when it's Ocean Soul is just really, really risky. You see, it put in so much work even in that last fight alone, right? They healed up so much from that. I wonder if they could have had that fight at the Dragon Soul, if that could have gone a little differently. Okay.
Nice
Just trying to control
roll.
vision here. They are just trying to set up some split pushes here. They're gonna do a 1-2-2. Pretty understandable. PO either has to commit to match one or the other, because honestly, I don't think MBB wins in a 2v2. It looks like they're just gonna send Aurelion Soul to try and stop the wave with the E, but Baron buff up, it's really, really tough.
Oh yeah, Baron buff, Ocean Soul, Aesol just tickles people right now.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
I mean, Aurelion Soul's so close to 18 as well, so about to hit a big spike, hitting the 18, finally being, pretty massive, especially when you have the Rylai's, you have the staff, you have your rod fully upgraded now. And even the Zonias, just in case somebody actually jumps on you. It's unfortunate he won't have the Sky's Descent for quite a little bit. But they're just going to try and weather the storm until then, which I think is probably the best move here. Just don't engage for a little bit, try and survive the Baron buff, and you have to go from there.
Ah yes, Poe Panda ignoring Scion. He's gonna get collapsed on though. Gets fully CC'd. He's gonna ult Chia Snacks to walk away.
Bit unfortunate there. Chia Snack's gonna actually do the CC right
Yeah.
before they come out.
And it
Coming out
buys
of the...
so
Oh,
much time.
absolutely. Yeah. They do end up losing mid, inhib, and turret for that though.
No, that turret was already dead.
Or just... Oh yeah, just inhib, just inhib. Yes.
They lost Xin Zhao for their troubles.
Yeah. But this Aurelion Soul ult, I mean, it still did half of their HP, and that's all he did was ult them.
Yeah.
I would love to see this in a team fight. If they could just get one good engage, I think, then MBB could actually save this game. It'll be tough, though.
Coin flip at Elder. 1 minute for that one.
Yeah. You have to.
Oh man, if Charlie gets that and then Aesol starts pumping out the damage.
That'd be big. That would be big.
It's probably what they're planning on right now. It's their easiest win con. They're doing their final recalls before the dragon spawns. She's next recovers all of her wards.
Yeah.
And
He finishes Sunfire. Okay.
but so much vision control from PO. Just, I'm counting 6 wards in just the top set. Oh my god, there's so many wards. Who has zombie wards? Who has it?
It's unfortunate. Scion actually. Oh, they're just giving up the
Elder?
dragon.
Whoa.
Oh, they're just coin flipping it. They're just gonna let.
Charlie,
They're
go
just
for
gonna
it.
let him coin flip it. Okay, but he walked away as they started it. They don't have any vision over here, but he doesn't have vision either.
Oh, this is so risky. It takes too long.
This is a flash Nautilus. He just gives it up. That's tough.
There was a blast plan that he could have tried to take it.
I think you have to. If your plan is to give it up to try and flip it, I think you just commit to it. That's tough. I understand the hesitation though. It makes sense.
Yeah, 'cause
it's just
when you check
they have
out
Elder now.
when you check the vision, right with your W, you see the dragon has barely been started, so you don't feel comfortable just jumping in because they could just stop doing damage and burst you down.
Yeah.
She is next.
Yeah.
Gonna get caught here. Is probably gonna go down. Oh, the Aesol ulti though.
Wow. That is massive, but they are just going to disengage, and the PO members will shortly, be back to full HP with this Ocean Soul.
Yeah, but that's some stall potential there on the Elder
Yeah.
Dragon.
But that was Sky's Descent. I mean, that's your big comeback for these fights, and not having this backup for any engage that you now take, it looks like they're just going to give up Baron again, which is understandable. I think in that, I just would love to see Milwaukee Bucks maybe take a team fight, but an actual team fight.
Yeah.
They just keep getting caught,
Or they
and then having
collapse on
to
the
run away.
Mordekaiser and
Yeah.
spend way too much time stalling out the ulti.
It's really tough, but PIO playing it incredibly well. They had their win con. Honestly, if they were not this far ahead this late in the game, I don't think it'd be, all of these team fights would be flipping to the other side, right? But because they played their early game so incredibly well, PIO is just able to really do whatever they want for the vast majority of this game duration.
It's almost going down there.
You could Graves ult, but you might not be not be in range for the Elder execute.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't worth throwing.
Taking it nice and easy. They have to give up this inhib. Elder should be running out shortly, and just as I say it, there it goes. So, MBB, this is your one shot. Big engage from MBB. The Zed is on the Acel, but is going to go down. And honestly, MBB just pulled it out of a hat.
They had a team fight. They did it. They team fought.
Quadra
kill for Chillwang.
What?
Oh man, they had a team fight. Let's go. It's beautiful. It's exactly what you wanted.
That was pivotal.
Yeah, that's the one moment. That's the. I mean, that's everything, right? That's exactly what they needed.
Honestly,
they couldn't have waited any longer.
It all stemmed from that first Acel ulti stalling out the Elder because they couldn't get Chia Snacks.
No, I absolutely agree. This is exactly what you want. Chia Snacks, okay, living. It doesn't matter. They're trying to just do as much damage as they can, but no minions here is really, really tough. Just take the hit, the inhib for this as well. They're spawning soon, hopefully.
And Simmer just runs.
Yeah.
Oh, out of Prowler's claw range. Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay. Flash is traded
again. Bananas making a run for it. A mad dash back to base.
Oh my god. You know, for the last game of the regular season, they're putting on a show.
Yeah, it's a banger. It's a banger. It's a 40-minute banger even.
Oh god.
It's about to be. It's tough now because you've lost your Scion. GSX does have the Alistar ult, but not having the Scion here hurts a lot. So once again, they have to stall for 10 more seconds before they actually take an engage or get engaged on. You need Scion here in the front line, disrupting their entire team.
C9 Medias takes so much. Oh, there's the Acel dunk! And Popan is trying really hard to isolate the Acel. Oh, Jay-Chung gets everybody, and this is gonna be game for PIO certainly. And
that is yeah, that's game for PIO. A valiant effort from Milwaukee Bucks to try and pull that back. They had an incredible last fight. They engaged just a little bit too early on, I think this. I mean, they had the Scion ults coming in, but they got on the Aurelion Soul, and Zed being on the Aurelion Soul for that entire team fight. I mean, PIO playing it super, super well takes the game.
Yeah, and Mordekaiser actually ulting Acel to
deny
damage.
Yeah, that's actually a really good strat. Take care of Acel late game. I mean, how can Aurelion Soul kill your team if he's locked away? Honestly, PIO played expertly well against this Aurelion Soul pick. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They executed it really, really well. Just a wonderful game to watch, honestly. So that officially solidifies
The
PIO as the
rematch.
ninth place team, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be the rematch coming in. Tate, would you mind jumping into Turner Room A?
Yes, I will grab them.
Oh, yeah, I should also, give people the results. All right. We
Hello.
get
I
all
brought yes.
Poe
The
Panda.
yeah,
You going?
huge Mordekaiser game.
Yeah, so, Poe, when did you become a top lane player here with the Mordekaiser
Um,
just bullying people?
so I started playing League as a top laner. That was like my first role that I played, and then I just stopped. But feels good being back in. It feels. I feel like I'm doing a lot more as a top laner than just as the jungler. I don't know
Mhm.
why, but I feel like I'm more effective at the top lane rather than jungle.
All right.
No.
So you guys come into this final game of the regular season. Winner, if you guys win, you get to have a salty run back in the playoffs.
Yep.
Um, so when you were coming into this draft, were you expecting the ASOL pick or
To be
um,
completely honest, we kind of just forgot about Asol. We saw them pick Ace, and we're like, huh, that's a champion. I forgot.
Yeah,
I
that
haven't
is a
seen him in so
character that is
long.
played.
That is a playable character in this game.
okay,
Yeah.
so what was the response from then? You picked the Zed, which I had heard that Joey played. I just had yet to see it.
Yeah, Joey, I think, is most comfortable into Asol as a Zed, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure. Joey's been picking up Zed, which is really cool because it diversifies his champ pool a little bit more, which is a really cool thing. Gives us a little bit more options. Um, but I think it was just his comfort pick into Asol.
Yeah, I think it's a great pick in days. So I mean, your big option, right, is just to okay. So you have to pick something that either scales just as well as Aesol, which there really isn't. Maybe Vagar on the like occasion, right, or
Mhm.
Zeri, or you have something that just stomps him early, or in team fights, right? You get something that can
Yeah.
sit on him, and Zed is the perfect option for that. He played it incredibly well.
No, yeah, Joey's been showing a lot of really good mastery with Zed. The few times we've played it in like just practice games that we have.
Hmm. So you had no doubt in his ability going
Oh
into this.
no,
Yeah.
no, I had zero doubt. I trust Joey.
Do you
So
think?
go
Oh,
ahead,
sorry. Go.
go ahead, Tate.
Oh, I was gonna say going into this. I mean, yeah, you obviously saw the ASOL, but in your mind, you're going into the game. You're starting to walk in. Are you sitting there? You're going, yeah, we just win this. Like we for sure. Like especially on the invade with the Nautilus hook catching bananas there. Are you just sitting, just like, yeah, this is just we win this one.
No,
Or
yeah,
just a
that
done
level
deal.
one definitely gave us a lot of hype. It really
Mhm.
that flash hook from Chase was massive just for the mental because we've had a few rough games, but starting it off strong with this one definitely helped.
Mhm.
All right. Speaking of mental, you're crushing the game, and then suddenly you get aced, and Acel comes off with a quadra kill. What
To be
was going
honest,
through?
we were like, huh, what happened there? We didn't focus Azel. All right, let's run it back. And I ulted Azel, and that was the end of it. It wasn't too much of a mental boom. It was more of a where'd we fuck up? All right, adjust, and brought the victory with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So you've locked in MBB as your opponent,
Hmm.
uh, which means that you're officially seventh place. Hooray!
Yeah,
Top of the
from
lower bracket.
yeah, tied for last place up to seventh. We'll
That's
take
pretty
it.
good.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
bit crazy.
I'll take a little bit of credit for that, helping you out. Locking RB in that 3-6.
True, true.
Even though somebody on your team seems to believe that it was going to be a DD 8-1 incoming, but we won't talk about that.
Everybody was hoping for the 8-1. No one wanted to have someone be the first 9-0. Come on.
Disappointing. No believers.
Uh,
All right. Do we have
Um,
any questions? That's a good one. Man has a question. So, given that you're in the lower bracket, you're and if you win your next game, your possible opponent is either XO or THD. Who would you rather face?
hmm. I think EXO. I don't know. EXO. The EXO game felt a lot cleaner to me than the THD game.
mhm.
Both
Yeah.
have their upsides, but I think the EXO game just felt better. I'm not sure why, but it definitely did.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna also ask. I mean, so just as another question, because you were split pushing kind of the whole game. Was there ever a point where you're sitting there, they're throwing 4 people at you, and your team is just getting free objectives that you're sitting there just like, hey, I'll take 4. I'll die. This is a worth death. I'm
Yeah,
so down for
I
this.
did not think I was gonna take 4 out with me there, but you know, it it happened. I was like, I came out of that. I really only had Rileys at that point and like components of Jack Show, and I was like, huh, I'm kind of just winning this. Hold on, I can kill everybody, and then everyone showed up, and my team got free objectives. So they sent a lot of people, and we got objectives off of that. So I kind of just played to my team getting everything else, and me just kind of being fodder.
Oh, no, absolutely. It looked really, really good. I mean, yeah, every single time, and even that time where you're flashing behind one of the towers, like in between the towers, and you're killing 3 people, ends up being a
Mhm.
1 for 2. All their focus going to you. I mean, that you just looked great on the Mordekaiser, doing obviously the most damage in the game. Played it expertly well. Had a huge CS lead towards mid game there as well.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all the questions I have.
I've got
I
nothing
appreciate you
else.
joining. Yeah, GG's. Well
GG's.
played. Thanks for hopping on and joining us for an interview.
Yeah,
Sounds
congrats
good.
on the
Thank
win.
you.
Good luck on the postseason. And that goes to everybody in the league. Good luck in the postseason. Schedule your matches. We don't want a month or 2 month long postseason.
Um,
Please do.
All right. With
sounds
that,
good.
I'm going to say goodbye. Bye bye
Bye,
now.
stream.
Bye now.